Hello, loyal fans. This is going to be a battle report between the two armies I should have finished painting this year. With a lot of the terrain I should have finished painting this year. Um, Actually, there's some other painting stuff that I, probably should put on the board as well. Um, but going through it, the Loon Shrine is a new addition this year. Those are all same. 2 units of the new woods, then the Nurgle wood, and the Bone Tithe Nexus, and a windmill made out of card stock that was done by a company that no longer exists. Two 3D printed buildings, one this giant wizard's tower, one a normal house, and then the Warscryer Citadel, um, Astro Mage's Laboratory double thing. They all kind of need more metal pieces, and the giant telescope definitely needs a different metal color too. Um, but anyways, yeah, I'm gonna get I think it's the Amazons and the Nippon together. This is a 8th edition fantasy, and just for fun, see how these armies go. Because basically, there's been no chances to actually play a game this year because of COVID. So let's do it. Alright, this is the Amazon army. It's not exactly what I would want, and of course it's only half painted. But I bought the 3D printer and I'm still trying to print Panther Riders to fill out the core, so that this main unit can be a special unit that's really good in combat. But right now they're just a core unit that's pretty good with shooting. So for core, we have these main, I think they're Eagle Warriors with Sun Staffs, which I think they're strength 4 shooting attacks at 24-inch range. It makes them a better unit for shooting than for combat, which changes the whole aspect of this army. The 3 units in the back of the Poison Attack Blow Dart Scouts, and that's for core. 2 units of these Headhunters of 7 models each. I think it's 2 shots with their bows. This is an Avatar of Rig for rare. There's 11 of these riders, Cold One riders. One of them, I guess the one with the sword, is going to be the general, who's a matriarch, so it makes the unit 12. Matriarch has a claw, amulet of midnight, crystalline armor, shield, and elixir of life. So, pretty hard to kill. There's a level 4 in front of her, that's one of the original Games Workshop Amazon models. Talisman of Protection, so 4 up ward, Dispel Scroll, and a Sun Gauntlet. And then this one is the Battle Standard Bearer, who has a Shield Amulet for 40 points, Enchanted Shield, and the Special Claw of the old ones. So good enough in combat. Not an ideal army, but at the same time 5 scouting units. So we'll see how they match up. And this is the Nippon army for 2,500 points. Going through it, 6 samurai cavalry with longbows. Also core 40 great sword wielding Uruchi clan samurai, which means they're striking strength 5 and initiative. 20 matchlock, basically handgunners. Also with, I think, musician is standard. Cavalry have musician. 3 units of Ronin, which are just small unbreakable units. 10 ninja with poison attacks and I think it's blowpipes. The Makoshi Shrine, that dude. 3 Kitsune. The rare choice of Mizuchi. And, alright, the 11 Red Ronin, which are the elite cavalry unit. Still, I think it's only like a 3-up save, but they're pretty good on the charge. Characters, Lord on Steed, great weapon striking and initiative, armor of silver steel, so 2-up save, and the Bronze Token, which is a 4-up ward against magic. Level 4 with Candle of the Void, so she can cast spells from further away, and 4-up ward save. Battle Standard, striking and initiative, great weapon, and the Mempo of Honor. I forget what that item is right now. And then a Yamabuchi, who is like a warrior priest. but she also has a group weapon that strikes an initiative. So that's 2,500 points. Going into spells and deployment. Alright, deployment is set as such. I should mention that there are 6 bells. Remove that. Yeah, so there, and there. And they are going to be objectives. Kind of like some Age of Sigmar things. I think on the second turn, just roll a dice, and one of them is going to be the real objective. And that's the important one, and whoever has, I guess, the most models, whatever unit counts as controlling it by the end of the game, wins. Is the closest and such. So there was only like 3 units to deploy for the Amazons, and then the scouts came in there. Ninjas took that little spot. The Nippon was capable of deploying across the whole board so that the Amazons couldn't deploy behind them. It's a good advantage, except that the main unit here is on the corner. That could be really good if those two become one of the main objective. If not, they're redundant. But then again, the big Death Star there is redundant as well. That unit is not good in combat, so basically the 2 heavy hitters are on this side. However, the Amazon one is supported by blow darts. And then the Nippon main bulk is pretty weak. The Kitsune can move really fast and ethereal through the trees. Mizuchi dragon thing, weak dragon, has a aquatic rule, but that's not going to help it through the trees. Really, the Amazons just have a ton of shooting. Oh, and these guys are in the tower, along with the mage. And I can't remember all the spells offhand. The Nippon one rolled 4, 6, 0, and 1. And the Amazons rolled 0, 1, 5, and 6. Some pretty good unit boosting ones for both sides. And I think the Amazons have a spell that auto hits like Flames of the Phoenix basically, but starts at strength 3. Yeah, kind of going around the side. From this perspective, you've got 10 of the core blow darts and the 2 units of headhunters have pretty big targets. The red devils, the longbow's not a big deal, but then also the ninjas. They kind of have to hold the flank. It's a pretty weak flank, but then again, well, by turn 2, if one of these objectives come, they might be able to help out. We'll see. I think the Amazons are at a big weakness just because of all the scouting units, but we'll see what happens. End of turn 1 for the Nippon. Amazons chose to go second, just because they knew the shooting was mostly out of range. Nippon moved up. I also forgot that the shrine should actually be in that unit, but at the same time it lowers its combat ability, and it might actually be better if it's there right now. So I left it as it was. That moved forward. Magic did absolutely nothing, and then shooting, they moved up and tried to shoot, but they were shooting on like 7s or 8s, so poison didn't work. They also shot the archers, and the handgunners shot. Out of all of that, only one of them died because of the 5-up ward save from the amulets in the moon, and the -1 strength against missile attacks. So yeah, big load of nothing. Now see what the Amazons can do. Alright, this is the end of turn 1. Shooting has taken this unit of 6 down to 3. They would have failed their panic test, but the death before dishonor rule kept them in the game. Because then they roll on 3d6, and if they still fail that, then they just get removed as a casualty. The ninjas, there's only 2 left. The entire unit, and those headhunters shot at them. I think they got lucky with poison attacks. 8 of the samurai died, and that was all from, and the still remains in play from the mage casting the fourth spell, the fifth spell that makes everyone have a strength 3 hit, and it remains in place. What's going to happen next turn as well? It was cast Irresistible Force, so Power Drain was the negative part. So the mage only has spell 0 right now, which is +1 strength, I think, to a single unit. That might help in that combat, but basically there is no more magic besides that. Oh, and the Avatar gave the units within 12 reroll failed charge distances, which really isn't going to help, but I didn't want to give them Frenzy this turn. So that's still a big unit. Oh yeah, and then there was a Ronin unit here. There's a 5, there's only 1 left. So that kind of helps. But now turn 2, gotta see where the objective goes. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. Alright, it's right here. Good to know. Nippon turn 2. Pretty significant developments. The objective is there. The Kitsune declared a charge against them, who fled, and then they redirected their charge into the other scouts, but they failed it. They first declared a charge into them and succeeded. The idea for both of them was that they would probably go on that side, and then they would go on the further side. It didn't really matter combat-wise, you know, they'd probably still win, and then they'd just go in there. It would just protect them from shooting. I didn't want them to run and catch them. So that worked out fine. Yeah, they died. Now they count as charging them. What else happened? Oh, magic from the Candle of the Void. Cast the first spell, which was D6 strength 4 hits. It killed a few of them, 3 or 4 I think. But it also brought their weapon skill and ballistic skill for a turn down by 1, which is good because they're shooters. They shot, and the handgunner shot them, killed 2, the headhunters, and the Red Devils charged the unit in front, and the unit in front of them, the Samurai Cavalry, charged those headhunters, or whatever they're called. I keep calling them, it doesn't matter. Both of them stood and shot at different targets, and they killed the other ones outright. But then the Samurai Cavalry, or the Red Devils, lost 1 model, killed the scouts there, and then overran into them. So that's a force to be reckoned with. There's also a dragon holding an objective marker with, you know, cover of 20 archers and a level 4 mage. It looks like the Amazons just don't have the strength. And it's partially just the army list that I've chosen, but, you know, we'll see. I'm pretty sure right here is the big thing, like 29 great weapons, probably going to take out 12 Amazon Cold One Riders. But we'll see. Alright, end of Amazon turn 2. The Samurai had charged the last turn from overrunning. They killed 5, but they actually lost 12. Matriarch definitely helped a little bit. Like the Claws of the Old Ones and the Cold Ones alone killed 5. So they are a pretty tough unit. Tougher than I expected. Because they actually won combat by 3, but the Samurai were stubborn. They were still there. Alright, they rallied. This is an unfortunate move in a sense. They had +2 movement because of the signature spell that was cast the turn before. So instead of staying there and holding, because I didn't think it was a smart an idea, and now I regret it, it's because the objective's over there, they charged the unbreakable 5 guys there. That was fine, but then I cast the spell that gave them +1 strength, and miscast. Cataclysm, whatever the worst one is, with a giant detonation, killed like half the unit and sucked the mage into the void. All the same, that unit still won combat because of the battle standard, and overran into the other unit of Ronin that are there. The headhunters, oh right, and all these units were under frenzy because of the avatar, that avatar. So there were 3 headhunters there, or 4? 4 of them, charging 2 ninja. Stand and shoot killed one of the 3 Amazons, one of the 4 Amazons, and then in combat they lost 2 others while only managing to kill 1 at the same initiative. So the ninja lost combat but was stubborn. Literally rolled an 8, so it was fine. So it's just 1-on-1 right now. And these guys, against the other headhunter unit, they lost 3, which surprised me. They're a glass cannon, but all the same, it was surprising. So they still killed them, had to overrun instead of reform. So they're just facing the wrong way, can't charge. And now it's the ninja, or the Nippon turn. Still looking really good for Nippon though. And the end of the Nippon turn 3. This is the big deal. Samurai lost a lot of models, but they killed all but the matriarch, who fled just over the terrain. Probably should take a difficult terrain test, I think. Fine. And then the samurai reformed, since the battle's over that way. That thing is still there, so at least they can team up and make a bigger unit, finally. There's the single Ronin going after them. Kitsune are in the forest here. These guys were over there, they moved there, and then the magic spell that lets them fly an extra 12 inches happened. Also a spell on the dragon making it stubborn. The Ronin were stubborn. There's one of them left in the main unit. Even at +1 strength, didn't manage to kill the last one. And then the 1-on-1 ninja against the headhunter. Headhunter won. Killed and had to overrun because it was still frenzied because of the avatar. Avatar took 2 hits though. One from the magic missile, which makes it -1 weapon skill, and the other from the handgunners up top. So yeah, this game is pretty much over. There's 20 models, 25 models left for the Amazons, basically all in this shot, plus the Lord. But we'll see. Play one more turn. At the end of the Amazon turn 3, the final little warrior got dealt with by the Ronin. So they reformed because it was after the first round of combat, so they couldn't overrun even though they're frenzied. The frenzied dude here just charged, failed the leadership test to restrain from charging, and 20 handguns just barely destroyed it. The avatar, instead of going after that, decided to move over here because I think it suffers instability and only has 2 wounds left, so it's not the safest bet. And then the 10 blow darts shot the shrine, didn't do a single wound. Had a 4 ward save and saved all 4 wounds. And the matriarch, I forgot, would have been on double ones to rally, because it's under 25% of the unit it was in, being the last unit model of the unit left. So see what happens here, although I'm pretty sure I know. Okay, this is definitely the game. At the end of that round, all but the battle standard were killed, and 3 of the Red Devils died. Surprisingly, actually, with Frenzy, 3 wounds were taken off of that Mizuchi. That was just a lot of luck, but all the same. So it only has 2 wounds left. Not that it matters. The Kitsune did 1 wound to the shrine and beat it in combat, and because it's unstable, it died. So really, and then the Nippon shrine joined the samurai, and the 1 Ronin is just standing in front of 20 blowpipe shots. And that's kind of where it's going to end. So my final thoughts on this battle: I liked it. I liked the way the Nippon can play. They are a glass cannon in many ways. Like that samurai unit is really good, but at the same time is really uh, expensive. At 12 points each, like, yes, they have strength 5 great weapon attacks at initiative, but it's, yeah, like 535 points plus the characters, and plus if you do use the shrine, which makes that a, Death Star territory, like 800 or 900 points in a single unit. And it was nowhere near what ended up to be the objective. Not that the objective mattered as much because, someone wiped the board clean. But still. Yeah, I love this Nippon army and the opportunities it gives. And the handgunners were a useful addition, just in terms of some protection. That main Amazon unit should not have charged and tried to get over here, but at the same time, if it didn't, there isn't much it could have done. Like, it would have held back, it would have shot at the samurai, and might have been able to take them down with that unit of blowpipes. But that's about it. Like, the battle still would have been lost based on objectives. And that's a little bit of being unlucky, but to be honest, like, the speed of the samurai cavalry and the kitsune just meant that it didn't really matter what part of the board the objective was going to be at. Nippon had the speed to race to it, with the exception of the samurai, which also had like that banner plus some movement, so at least they had movement 5. So, yeah, kind of a shame it was so one-sided, but at the same time, that's kind of what happens when you have 5 units of scouts. So the biggest thing I want to do, which is why I got the 3D printer, is to get 2 or 3 units of Panther Rider fast cavalry as core to go along with those blowpipes, and that will be the core. And I don't have a massive unit that was right here that cost like, I think about 500 points, that has really good shooting, but it's just not worth it at Ballistic Skill 3. It's like Strength 4, armor penetration, magic missiles, basically, but no. Like, the unit sucks in combat, and that's the problem. Oh, and yeah, also the bad luck with the magic was unfortunate, but still, it's not fair to judge everything based off of that. And that was just a weak flank. So yeah, what I want to do is use that unit, the same models, these dudes, as the elite unit that has the claws, which is what I use for the Cold One Riders, which gives them strength 4 armor piercing. And I think they can use shields at the same time, so then they become like a very strong Death Star-ish combat unit that can hold their own, which makes the Amazons at least have something that can go and, fight for the board, or the middle of the board, and then with a bunch of Panthers on the side, and that would be great. The problem is, there just isn't a unit or models like anyone is making of Amazon Panthers. Artisan Guild made 1 or 2, and there's a couple of other STL files out there, but they're as STL files, so I have to do them, and Titanforge made 1 character on it, but I got the STL file of that, and I'll downsize it because I think it's way too big. I just need to print it, and the 3D printer is having some problems, so we'll see when I get there. But anyways, yeah, hopefully I'll get another game in soon at some point with actually better painted models, because this is basically just the army of red from Nippon. I kind of actually like how they look when it comes down to it, like, at least what it's initially going for. I was wanting to add extra, like, flowers and such, the pink flowers. I'm losing the name right now. But, just going off of that kind of dirty brick red. but also probably like yellows and purples for the, and red, for the main color scheme. So I'll get them done soon. The same with the Amazons. I'm just still kind of afraid of painting so many of like dark skin, and I'm still not set on a color scheme for that. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed the new terrain. And good luck with your own models, hobbies, everything. Hopefully next year is going to be a better one than this one. Okay. Happy Wargaming. Happy New Year.